I think Omar is just kind of like a player that learns really fast, and his attitude was just really willing to work with the team and like do what we wanted him to do. And I would say with Dardak, it was not like that. So Omar pretty much came into the team. We kind of started like splitting time with him to see how he would do, and ended up we were winning like the majority of our scrims and stuff with Omar just because he was listening to like exactly what the team wanted to do and not doing any more than that. And so he still has a lot to learn, but I would say over the past 2 weeks he has just like improved like tenfold, like so much. He's actually improved, and he still does mess up a lot, I think, but we always try to reassure him in game, you know, like it's okay, and just try to help him get through it and give him confidence if he wants to get engages and stuff. So, but I think Omar is a good fit for our team. Well, they pretty clearly from their side choice, how they picked like blue, or they picked purple side every time they could, and they also left Zach open. So they clearly had like a plan to go against Zach, and that was pretty much just the bottom lane invading, even their mid laner helping, so that our Zach would just get like boned early, and then he gets super behind, and then it's really hard for us to play our lanes out because like for us bottom, we were also in like a losing scaling matchup, not losing, I'll say scaling matchup every game. So we weren't really able to pressure our lane, and also their jungle was bottom side like 90% of the game, so it was really hard for us to pressure through our lane. And yeah, they were just setting Omar God behind a lot, and I think they targeted that, just like setting him behind because they thought maybe like he wouldn't know what to do since he's like newer or something. So yeah, I mean, it was just like we did have ideas on what to do against it because I mean they were doing it every single game, and they were pretty much doing it blindly. They weren't wording or anything, they were just walking in blind, and it was a little hard for us because I mean every single game of practice we played this week, that had never happened one time. So I mean when it happens on stage like that, you're just like, oh shit, like all right, something different happened than what we've ever seen, and you kind of have to adapt like on the fly. So the first game we saw they were doing it, and they're like, all right, they're probably going to do this every game versus Zach. But then they ended up just doing every game versus every jungler, and then we are like, okay, we need to figure out something. So we had like one time where Zach was playing Alistar, he sat like behind a wall and then flashed on level 1. We tried that. We tried like different stuff, like yeah, pretty much just like flashing on level 1, see what we're doing. And we always got sums from their bottom lane, but it ended up like never being worth it really because we weren't ever able to like pressure the bottom lane after that. So definitely was not expecting either of those picks. And yeah, I think Hako is just like a player who has he'll always play the counter or something, and he'll find like the random like off pick counter that like no one else really plays. So like Nautilus, I think he would also play like Nautilus into Thresh or something, and that's kind of something that I don't think anyone else plays besides him. So like I think the 4th game when we blinded Bard, we're like, yeah, like they can maybe go Lulu or something, and then they ended up going Nautilus, and we're like, oh shit. Like we didn't think about that. And then the Kog'Maw mid, we were like, I looked over and I actually was like, did they just misclick? Because it looked like they were talking like frantically, and I was like, did they just mess up? But apparently it was like an actual pick they had. I know that Cog's a good pick in a Corki. They used to be like that way bottom lane. So you know when people pick Corki, they go Cog. So I guess it's the same thing mid lane, and that guy was really hard to kill. I think the Immortals match will pretty much be decided by bot lane because I feel like both teams. I guess we don't always play around bottom, but I know Immortals does, and I definitely think we have the stronger solo lanes in them, but I think their bottom lane is really strong, and yeah, I think the match will just be decided by bottom lane. So. Well, it means a lot because I've wanted to travel to like another event for a while, and we didn't get to do that last split. And I guess I've done that every split I've played so far except last split. So last split was like a really big disappointment for everyone. And I mean, right after we won the game, I was just like, well, I mean, we already surpassed what we did last playoffs, so that's already like we're already doing better than what we did last year or last split. And for me, I have some family back in Boston, so I was really looking forward to like winning the match and going to Boston. And yeah, I don't know, it was a really, really hard series, but I'm pretty excited we won. So just thanks to all the fans. Hope we didn't give you guys too many heart attacks. Even though I think I had like 10 fans come to me and say like, you guys are stressing me out, and I'm just like, yeah, we're stressing ourselves out too. So but yeah, thanks for supporting us always.